The 73rd Golden Globe Awards will honour the best in film and American television of 2015 and will be broadcast live on January the 10th, 2016 from the Beverly Hilton in Beverly Hills. Joining us right now today is regular guest Stuart from TalkingTipsters.com. Now, for our regular viewers, you will have probably seen us talking about football, but we've both been doing our homework here, and today we'll be giving you our predictions and if we think there's some value on the betting markets out there right now. Now, Stuart, will you be doing anything on Talking Tipsters for the Golden Globes?
I personally won't, but Talking Tipsters is set up in such a way that people can come in and make any kind of betting selection, really. So if people want to come in and bet on this, they're perfectly able to do so.
All right, fantastic. And I have heard you've been doing your homework. You've been busy watching the films we're going to talk about.
Oh, yeah, I've been in the cinema a lot the last few days.
Tough job, Stuart, but, you know, we've got to do it.
Someone has to do it, right?
That's right. Let's start by taking a look at the top films to receive the most nominations. And coming in first is actually Carol. Are you predicting Carol to clean up?
Not really. I think Carol's a good film. I enjoyed it, but I think it's going to miss out in a number of places. Certainly, if you look at the Best Actress category, then you've got the fact that you've got two actresses in that, and I think they could potentially split the vote. Certainly, I don't think it's going to get Best Director, even though it was directed very well.
Yeah, it is priced 11 Bet365 to win Best Drama. I personally felt it was a little bit slow.
It was a little bit on the sedate side, but then that's something that you could say about other films as well. Certainly, The Hateful Eight is a film that's been criticised for being a little bit on the sedate side at times.
Yeah. Well, Cate Blanchett is priced 5 to win Best Actress. In fairness, she did put a very good performance. Do you think that could be a long shot?
Personally, I think if you're going to go for a long shot, you'd want to go for Rooney Mara from that film. She was actually really good. I thought her character had a little bit more depth and a little bit more, how do we say, options to play the character. I think that one would be the way I would go if I was looking for a long shot, but I'm not sure the long shot's the way to go on this one.
Okay, well, the film that is making waves and the favourites with the bookies to clean up is Spotlight, who are firm favourites to pick up Best Picture in the drama category, price 1.29 Sky Bet, and also Best Original Screenplay. Does that film get your vote?
Yeah, that is a really, really good film, I have to say. I really enjoyed that one.
Well, today I know you watched The Danish Girl. I like The Danish Girl as well. I think this could pick up a few gongs.
Yeah, definitely. I think that Alicia Vikander is going to be up there for Best Actress. I think Eddie Redmayne would be a very good choice for Best Actor, although that one may be signed up by someone else. I think that those two performances were excellent. And it was tough content matter for them, but I think they did a really good job.
Yeah. Talk about tough content matter, though. I'm finding that a lot of these films that are nominated have approached tough subject matter.
It's often the way with films like this. You know, you go for the heavy films with the tough subject matter, and they tend to kind of end up with the Golden Globes or Academy nominations. So, you know, it kind of works both ways, I think.
Yeah, and just on Eddie Redmayne, because I thought he put a stunning performance there. He's actually priced 17 at Bet365 to win Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture Drama, obviously, and then Leonardo Dicaprio is leading that 1.17. Do you think that's fair, 17 for his performance?
Not really. I thought it was a really, really good performance. But then if you look at Bryan Cranston for Trumbo, I thought he also put in a really, really good performance. And I'll be honest, I haven't seen Revenant, but it does look like that it's definitely going to pick up the Best Actor category for this one.
Well, whilst we're on Best Performance by an Actor in Motion Picture Drama, obviously Leonardo Dicaprio is predicted to pick up the Golden Globe here, 1.17 Stan James. Is he going to do it?
I think he probably will. He is highly, highly tipped to do so. There's no one else with anywhere near those kind of odds. And it's the kind of film that really would work very well for the Golden Globes or the Academy Awards.
All right, let's start with, and it's one that is one of the anticipated ones, Best Motion Picture Drama. We've obviously got Spotlight 1.25. Is there any, that's obviously low, but some are saying that The Revenant could be the long shot bet there, and that's 4.5.
Yeah, The Revenant seems to be the kind of film that, would do very well. But at the same time, Spotlight is an excellent film, and I think it probably deserves its place.
Okay. One I'm surprised to see on there is Mad Max. Do you think that should be in the Best Motion Picture Drama?
Not a chance. I think it's a terrible, terrible film. I think it's a waste of good celluloid. It's awful.
I think it would win Best Costume or something like that.
If there was an effects category, which I haven't seen, then maybe for that. But certainly, yeah, the costumes were good. And I've got a friend who'd be interested in that kind of thing because that's her job. But for me, I really wasn't that impressed by it.
All right. What about best performance by actress in drama? Obviously, Brie Larson leads the way for Room, which is a very sort of compelling story there. 1.57. I think there's value in that, and I think she's going to do it.
In a drama, yeah, potentially. I haven't seen that film, so I couldn't really say. I mean, I liked Alicia Vikander in The Danish Girl. I think she's got a chance in that one, but I think she might pop up in the voting later on as well.
All right, so next we have got Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy, and it's The Big Short that leads the way, 1.73. That's not a bad bet. What do you think?
Yeah, it's not a bad bet. I think there's some good films in here. There's a few things in there that people would say a little bit interesting. I wouldn't particularly call The Martian a comedy or a musical. So, I think that potentially stands a very, very good chance. Out of the two, I'm not sure which one I like the most. I enjoyed both films, but for very different reasons.
I really like Joy, actually. That was another one that I watched yesterday with Jennifer Lawrence. A very good film indeed. Did you watch that one yet?
Yeah, I've been to the cinema and spent a couple of hours watching that. I thought it was a good film. I think she's in with a chance of picking up something, but I'm not sure this film's going to do particularly well. It's biopics of this type, they don't really tend to clean up.
All right, all right. Well, another one heading over to musical or comedy here, and that's actress is Amy Schumer for Trainwreck, 1.38. I personally didn't like her performance in that one, and I would maybe look to something else, either Melissa McCarthy for Spy, 1.95, or Jennifer Lawrence in Joy, 1.95.
Yeah, I think personally I'd go for Jennifer Lawrence, but I'm not a huge Amy Schumer fan. I've seen a few bits of hers. I haven't seen this film, and she is supposed to be extremely good in it. But for me, I would definitely go for Jennifer Lawrence out of the choice of those. I didn't think Melissa McCarthy was particularly good in Spy. All
right. One bet that I think for the bigger better here is we've got the animated, and the best one is Inside Out. Now, obviously, that, since sort of the day of opening, created a storm. People loved that film, and it's 1.2 Paddy Power. So not a huge amount of return for your money, but I think that it's definitely got it.
Yeah, word on the street is that this is going to be a complete walkover for Inside Out. It's an enjoyable film. I wouldn't say it treads any new ground, but it's pretty good.
I think it treads new ground, though. It's a sort of a new subject, though, isn't it? Sort of like looking into the minds of people, and you've got sort of like, the happiness and sadness and things like that, and how it relates to. I think it was a pretty cool film.
It was an interesting film. I have to say, I did like the character of Anger. It definitely appealed to me. But I think there is another film in this category. I can't exactly remember the name, but it's certainly aimed towards a more adult market. And I think that does break a few more grounds than this one.
All right, so now what I want to talk about is Best Director. And I think the one who's definitely got it is Ridley Scott here, The Martian 2.1, bet 365. The people of NASA has actually said how realistic their depiction of Mars was.
Well, you'd certainly hope so, wouldn't you? To spend that kind of money, that kind of budget, you'd hope they'd get somewhere close to reality on it. Personally, yeah. I thought it was a really good film, and I would be very happy to see it win. Unfortunately, there's an awful lot of talk that Mad Max is going to win this one, George Miller. I think that would be a travesty if it did.
Okay, well, he's actually priced 5.5 there, bet 365. He is one of the favourites as well to pick up. Ridley Scott's going to do it, in my opinion. I personally would probably say that is my top tip here. Ridley Scott to pick that up, 2.1, bet 365. And as my long shot bet, I'm actually going to go for Inside Out, 1.2.
Okay, go for it.
What do you go for?
Well, if we go for Best Director, then I think personally I'd go for Ridley Scott as well. I think he's definitely the strongest of the lot there. Yeah, I don't think there's any getting away from that.
Now, I haven't got odds for this one, but I wanted to quickly talk about it before we close up here. Best Television Series. I would put my money on Game of Thrones, although it looks like Mr. Robot's going to clean up.
I'm a big fan of Mr. Robot, I have to say. I thought it was a really, really well-written, directed, acted piece. And I'm looking forward to the next series. And that's the kind of thing that really makes me say, yeah, this one stands a chance. With the fact that it's a bit of a breakout drama, I think it's got a very good chance of picking something up. We've seen in the past Game of Thrones has done very well. But I wouldn't say that was the best series I've seen of Game of Thrones.
Right. So if I give you $50 right now, would you put it on Mr. Robot or Game of Thrones?
Mr. Robot, definitely.
Really?
I think the acting was really good. I think it just excelled in many different ways.
And Mr. Robot or Narcos, because that's also very good.
I think the foreign language elements of Narcos might actually put a few people off. Again, I thought it was an excellent piece, but I think Mr. Robot was just a little bit more accessible for people.
Stuart from tipsterhq.com, thank you for joining us.